Hey everyone, how's it going? In today's tutorial, we're going to talk about Zhuxin, that annoying mage who bothers you from start to finish with her oppressive lantern. Zhuxin's skill set focuses on crowd control, especially her second skill, which can be downright unbearable at times. She also has above-average durability compared to other mages, particularly when she's under the effect of her ultimate. Despite having great potential in matches, many players still struggle to master her. If you're one of them, don't worry. In this video, I'll explain in a clear and simple way how her passive, skills, and combos work. And at the end, I'll share some builds and practical tips to help you carry your matches with this beauty. To make it easier to understand, let's start with Skill 2. Zhuxin channels energy in a designated area, allowing her to move her lantern by holding and directing the skill button. During the channeling, this ability continuously deals magic damage based on Zhuxin's total magic power every 0.25 seconds to enemies within the area. But that's just the beginning. Each hit applies a stack of Soul Snare, which appears below the enemy as a butterfly. When an enemy reaches 10 stacks, they are knocked up for 1 second and then slammed to the ground, taking additional magic damage based on Zhuxin's total magic power. While the enemy is suspended in the air, you can redirect the skill to throw them in another direction, making the control even more strategic. This effect can hit multiple enemies simultaneously, making it one of the most powerful abilities in her kit. It's worth noting that if the airborne enemy takes multiple instances of damage, subsequent damage will be reduced, a small adjustment to balance the skill's power. One major advantage is that it doesn't consume mana when hitting non-hero units, and it can also be used to reveal bushes easily. Despite its high mana consumption, her passive compensates for it quite well. Passive. Whenever Zhuxin channels energy with her lantern, she converts the mana spent into up to 15 crimson butterflies. When the channeling ends, the butterflies gradually disappear, and each one restores 5% of Zhuxin's max mana, totaling up to 75% of the mana spent. In other words, the higher her mana pool, the more she recovers through her passive. It's an extremely useful ability, especially in the late game when Zhuxin already has high mana values. Skill 1. Zhuxin releases a fan-shaped wave of energy, dealing magic damage in an area. In addition to the damage, the ability applies a Soul Snare stack to enemy heroes hit and reduces their movement speed by 20%, while Zhuxin gains 20% increased movement speed. In other words, she steals movement speed, weakening her enemies while empowering herself. Ultimate. Zhuxin teleports to a designated location, gaining a shield equal to 100% of her total magic power and creating a magic field around her for 6 seconds. During this time, the field continuously deals magic damage and applies a Soul Snare stack every second. Her ultimate is an extremely powerful weapon, usable both offensively, to initiate fights and apply heavy pressure, and defensively, to escape or protect herself in critical moments. Combos. Zhuxin isn't exactly a mage focused on combos, but just so you don't miss out, here are 2 extremely simple ones you can use in your matches. For the first combo, use Skill 1 to apply slow to the enemy, then follow up with Skill 2 to build up your soul stacks and knock the enemy into the air. Simple and effective. In the second combo, the sequence is almost the same, but this time you use the ultimate first. This combo is more situational, so be careful. Don't dive into just any enemy, or you'll most likely end up dead. Build and emblems. Zhuxin isn't a mage focused on burst damage, but rather on continuous damage and crowd control. Since she consumes a lot of mana when using her second skill, the Clock of Destiny is an indispensable item in her build. Besides providing plenty of mana, it also grants cooldown reduction and solid durability, making Zhuxin much more stable during fights. Another essential item is the Glowing Wand, which applies healing reduction and burn damage over time. An excellent choice against tankier compositions. You should also include the Wishing Lantern, Zhuxin's very own lantern. In addition to providing mana, this item gives a significant advantage against enemies with high HP, further enhancing her sustained damage. The Blood Wings is another key item, as it greatly increases Zhuxin's survivability thanks to the shield it grants, especially when her ultimate is active, making her practically a magical tank. When it comes to emblems, the most recommended is the basic common emblem, as it offers hybrid regeneration and well-balanced stats for Zhuxin's playstyle. The best talents to use are Agility, Tenacity, and Impure Rage, which perfectly complement her skills by providing more mobility, durability, and mana sustain. As for battle spells, the best choices are Flicker and Purify, both of which help greatly with Zhuxin's survivability in critical moments. These are some of the builds I personally use and recommend, especially for beginners. Of course, feel free to adjust according to your playstyle and the needs of each match. Tips to improve your gameplay with Zhuxin. Zhuxin is a mage mainly focused on crowd control and supporting her team throughout the match. In the early game, focus on clearing your lane as quickly as possible to help with rotations and support your jungler. Her second skill already provides a good advantage even at the start of the match. Zhuxin is a poke mage, so avoid exposing yourself too much or forcing 1-versus-1 duels. Of course, sometimes you can move forward to finish off a low-health enemy, but remember, your main role is to support your allies, providing CC and poking enemies from a safe distance. Always be present in team fights, especially during objective fights like Turtle or Lord. Her strong crowd control gives your team a significant advantage in these key moments. The control from her second skill is Zhuxin's main weapon, but it can also be used to check bushes and is excellent for zoning, since it has no cooldown. Her ultimate has great offensive potential, as it helps you stack souls faster and more efficiently. Use this advantage to surprise enemies and apply CC quickly. It's also her main defensive tool. Always be ready to use it during enemy engages. The teleport combined with the shield from her ult is essential in critical moments. Finally, remember, good positioning makes all the difference in any match. This is the most important tip for any hero, and with Zhuxin, it's even more crucial. If this kind of content is helping you, check out the playlist dedicated exclusively to tutorials. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming videos. Thank you so much for the support, and see you in the next video.